Imagine this, it's 6 a.m. and you are awoken by the emergency alert systems. The sirens are blaring. You stumble out of bed and turn on the television for more information. CNN is reporting news of the walking dead, people with arms stretched in front of them, staggering aimlessly. They are exhibiting aggressive and psychotic behavior. Now this may sound like a scene from a Hollywood movie, and if you think this, I wouldn't blame you. For I've seen nearly every zombie movie out there. I've researched the subject extensively, and I often find myself in conversations with people asking what they would do should an outbreak occur. But I'm here today to tell you that this is not the stuff of Hollywood, that a zombie outbreak is not only humanly but scientifically possible, and it's a problem people should work to prevent and prepare for. Before I delve into the possible causes of a zombie outbreak, I think it's important to define what a zombie is. According to Merriam-Webster's dictionary, the word zombie means a person held to resemble the so-called walking dead, a person markedly strange in appearance or behavior. Now, one possible cause of a zombie outbreak is biological warfare. Max Brooks, author of The Zombie Survival Guide, said, "If there is anything in this world that could possibly threaten humanity, you can bet that somewhere, someone is trying to turn it into a weapon." And I couldn't agree more. In fact, the Gulf War syndrome is thought to have been the result of biological warfare. Biological warfare was outlawed in 1972, but there are a lot of countries that are still feared to have them in their control and use. According to UIC.edu, of the 690,000 troops that were deployed to Iraq during Desert Storm, 80,000 reported symptoms of Gulf War syndrome. In fact, Saddam Hussein's own son-in-law admitted that Iraq had enough biological agents to kill the world's population several times over. Now, if a zombie outbreak isn't the result of biological warfare, then it could be the result of a parasite. It's fascinating, really. Inside the brain of a rat lives a parasite called Toxoplasma. This parasite can only breed if it's inside of a cat. So knowing this parasite raises the dopamine levels inside of a rat's brain. It rewires the brain of a rat to be attracted to the smell of cat urine. So the rat purposely puts itself in harm's way because it's been rewired. Humans then contract a disease called toxoplasmosis when they come into contact with the feces of a cat that just ate the rat that had the parasite toxoplasmosis. Kind of sounds like a Dr. Seuss riddle, I know. According to the Center for Disease Control, humans get toxoplasmosis. And then according to WebMD, that results in two things: encephalitis and schizophrenia. Encephalitis is an acute inflammation of the brain. Schizophrenia is a mental disorder. Symptoms of both include confused speech and thinking, convulsions, restlessness, hallucinations, memory problems, paranoid and bizarre behavior that can often lead to aggressive and psychotic episodes. If this isn't alarming enough, the Center for Disease Control estimates that 23% of adolescents and adults have signs of infection of toxoplasmosis. Now, there are roughly 12,000 students at Northeastern. So using the Center for Disease Control statistics, or estimates rather, that means roughly 3,000 students are infected with toxoplasmosis. Imagine the devastation that would be caused if a parasite such as toxoplasmosis could evolve and shift just a little bit to the point where it was controlling the brains of humans as it does the brains of rats. Suddenly, the world would be filled with people who lack self-preservation and rational thought. People who are suffering from paranoid and psychotic disorders, acting aggressive, with slurred speech and slowed emotional and physical responsiveness. Kind of sounds like a zombie, doesn't it? Think this couldn't happen? And not only can, something very similar to what I'm describing actually occurred. According to Stanford University, the influenza pandemic of 1918 to 1919 killed more people than World War I. Somewhere between 20 to 40 million people died. It has been cited as the most devastating epidemic recorded in world history. It was truly a global disaster. And this is the interesting part. It is thought to have originated in China from a rare genetic shift in the influenza virus. Furthermore, a study in 2007 conducted by the University of Washington-Madison and the University of Tokyo proved that the 1918 virus was indeed different from all the other flu viruses. So, essentially what happened is you had a everyday common cold that through a very rare genetic shift wiped out 40 million people in the course of a year and a half. Now that I have you looking over your shoulders, wondering who amongst us may have toxoplasmosis, I present the following survival plan. It is important first to exercise extreme caution around animal feces. And then I would recommend instituting a plan that focuses on the 3 elements of survival. People first must prepare shelter. It is important to barricade and isolate. If you live in an apartment building, seek shelter on the 2nd floor and above, and then physically take out all the staircases leading to you. If you live in a house, then you need to plan a little bit earlier by building a 10-foot fence, preferably a concrete fence, around your property. Doing this will both isolate and barricade you. Second, people must prepare nourishment. You may think that sticking with canned food and bottled water would be the best solution. However, there is a better long-term solution via emergency food kits such as this that are very heavy but take up a small amount of shelf space and provide up to 275 meals in just one tub. As for water, the best solution is to use water purification systems. This way you can purify collected rainwater. Lastly, people must prepare to defend themselves. As for weaponry, Max Brooks, expert all things zombie, believes that both the machete and the M1 carbine gun are superb anti-zombie weapons. The M1 carbine gun is light, accurate, and uses a round so small that many can be carried. It is relatively quiet compared to larger caliber guns, and it can be used in tight quarters. It's good for close quarter battles, CQB. The machete is also found to be appropriate for similar reasons. Now, before I leave you, let me leave you with this final thought. Si vis pacem para bellum, which is Latin for, if you wish for peace, prepare for war. Thank you.